Every smile conceals a transaction. Every gesture carries an invoice. Every relationship operates as a marketplace where needs are bartered and desires are currency. The naive call this cynical. Machiavelli called it Tuesday. 500 years ago, he dissected human nature with surgical precision, revealing that beneath every handshake lurks a hidden agenda. You are not a person. You are a resource. A walking collection of assets others wish to extract, exploit, or acquire. Your connections, your knowledge, your time, your validation, even your failures serve as commodities in this invisible economy. The question isn't whether people want something from you. The question is whether you'll charge interest or give discounts. Stop pretending altruism governs human interaction. Strip away the social veneers, the polite protocols, the diplomatic niceties, and you'll discover the raw machinery of self-interest humming beneath every conversation. That friend seeking advice, she's purchasing your intellectual labor for free. That colleague offering collaboration, he's accessing your network without compensation. Machiavelli understood that power flows to those who recognize these invisible transactions and learn to manipulate them. The weak remain victims of others' appetites. The strong become architects of others' hunger. Which category do you occupy? Begin with inventory. What do you possess that others crave? Status symbols that elevate their social standing. Knowledge that shortens their learning curves, connections that bypass their obstacles, skills that solve their problems. Even your presence at their events adds credibility to their ventures. Map these assets with mercenary precision. Your college roommate who became a venture capitalist, he represents access to capital. Your sister-in-law in marketing, she controls brand visibility. Your neighbor who serves on the city council, she wields regulatory influence. Each relationship is a potential lever in the machinery of advancement. Now catalog their hungers. Power addicts seek influence. Status seekers crave recognition. Lonely souls hunger for belonging. Ambitious climbers need platforms. Insecure spirits require validation. Connect your assets to their appetites and you'll discover you've been giving away diamonds while collecting pebbles. The amateur makes himself constantly available, cheapening his worth through abundance. The strategist creates his artificial scarcity, elevating his value through selective presence. Study luxury brands. Hermes doesn't manufacture enough Birkin bags to meet demand. The waiting list becomes a part of the mystique. Apply this principle to your accessibility. Don't answer every call immediately. Don't accept every invitation enthusiastically. Don't solve every problem instantly. When you're always available, you become furniture, useful but unnoticed. When you're intermittently accessible, you become an event. Master the psychology of intermittent reinforcement. Casinos understand this. Slot machines that pay out randomly create more addiction than those with predictable patterns. Your attention, your approval, your assistance should arrive unpredictably, creating psychological dependencies stronger than contractual obligations. Silence becomes your sharpest instrument. While others chatter nervously, revealing weaknesses and exposing strategies, you listen with predatory patience. Information asymmetry is the first ingredient of dominance. Know their needs while concealing your own. Understand their pressures while masking your advantages. When they probe your intentions, respond with questions that redirect focus to their circumstances. What would success look like for you? How are you measuring progress? What obstacles concern you most? Each question harvests intelligence while positioning you as a thoughtful ally rather than a calculating opponent. Perception management requires theatrical sophistication. You must appear generous while being strategic, helpful while being calculating, supportive while being selective. The best manipulators are never recognized as such because their victims feel grateful for the experience. Control information flow like a central banker controls currency. Release details strategically, timing revelations for maximum impact. A secret shared at the perfect moment can shift power dynamics more effectively than any direct action. Information hoarded becomes ammunition. Information deployed becomes influence. Study the masters of this craft. Steve Jobs created desire for products people didn't know they needed. Oprah Winfrey transformed personal vulnerability into massive influence. Warren Buffett converted folksy wisdom into investment empire. Each understood that authenticity is a performance that feels genuine. Your reputation precedes every interaction, shapes every negotiation, influences every outcome. Craft it deliberately. Highlight your unique capabilities. Demonstrate your exclusive access. Showcase your decisive victories. But cloak your methods in mystery. Let results speak while keeping processes secret. The art lies in making your influence feel like their idea. Plant seeds of suggestion in conversations, then watch them germinate into proposals they believe originated in their minds. Have you considered becomes more powerful than you should because it preserves their illusion of autonomy? Never appear desperate for what you want. Desperation advertises weakness and invites exploitation. Instead, create multiple options so no single outcome becomes critical. When people sense you have alternatives, they compete more aggressively for your attention. Scarcity of need breeds abundance of offers. Learn to weaponize gratitude. A favor delivered at someone's darkest moment creates permanent psychological debt. They'll remember who helped when others disappeared. Time these interventions carefully. Early assistance feels strategic, but crisis intervention feels heroic. The reciprocity principle governs human psychology. People feel obligated to return favors, even when the original gift was unsolicited. Send valuable information unprompted. Make introductions without being asked. Solve problems before they're presented to you. These gifts create invisible chains, stronger than legal contracts, but balance generosity with boundaries. Unlimited giving breeds contempt rather than gratitude. The always helpful person becomes a doormat, not a power broker. Establish clear terms for your assistance. I can help with this, but I'll need. Trains people to respect your time and value your contributions. Cultivate calculated unpredictability. Patterns make you manageable. Inconsistency makes you formidable. Sometimes respond immediately. Sometimes delay deliberately. Sometimes offer assistance generously. Sometimes require compensation. This variation keeps others slightly off balance, never quite certain of your next move. Master the leverage of timing. A connection made during someone's ascent pays dividends for decades. A favor granted during their struggle creates lifelong loyalty. A criticism delivered during their triumph devastates more than assault during their failure. Timing transforms ordinary actions into extraordinary influence. Study the behavioral patterns. When does anxiety make the most suggestible? What triggers their competitive instincts? Which circumstances make them most generous? Understanding these psychological rhythms allows you to choreograph interactions for optimal outcomes. The weak seek to be liked, as the strong seek to be needed. Likability is fragile. One misunderstanding can shatter it. Necessity is robust. Even enemies depend on essential services. Position yourself as indispensable, rather than simply pleasant. Indispensability is the foundation of unshakable power. Create systems that multiply your influence while minimizing your effort. Train protégés who execute your vision. Build platforms that amplify your voice. Establish processes that generate recurring value. Your goal is architectural, designing structures that work even when you're absent. The psychology of debt extends beyond financial obligations. Emotional debts, social debts, professional debts all carry interest that compounds over time. Keep meticulous mental records of who owes what. These invisible ledgers become your most valuable assets. Practice strategic vulnerability. Calculated displays of humanity make you more relatable without making you weak. Share struggles you've overcome, not problems you're facing. Reveal past vulnerabilities, not current ones. This builds connection while maintaining authority. Never underestimate the power of exclusive access. People crave what others cannot have, whether it's information, experiences, or opportunities. Exclusivity multiplies perceived value exponentially. Create VIP tiers in everything you offer, even if the differences are largely symbolic. The modern world offers unprecedented tools for influence. Social media algorithms can be gamed. Professional networks can be leveraged. Digital platform can be monetized. Master these technological levers without becoming dependent on any single platform. Platforms rise and fall, but influence transfers. Understand the economics of attention. In an information-saturated world, focus becomes the scarcest resource. Those who can capture and direct attention wield more power than those who control traditional resources. Become a curator of relevance, a filter for noise, a spotlight for significance. Build coalitions through shared interests, not shared values. Values change with circumstances. Interests adapt to opportunities. Identify what others need to achieve their goals. Then position yourself as the bridge to those outcomes. Become the connector who makes success possible. The art of strategic retreat often proves more valuable than frontal assault. When direct approaches fail, withdraw gracefully while maintaining relationship capital. Today's adversary might become tomorrow's ally if you avoid burning bridges during temporary conflicts. Master the language of win-win proposals while structuring win-more arrangements. Frame every negotiation so others feel they're gaining advantage while you secure superior positioning. The best deals leave everyone feeling clever while you retain the most valuable components. Time operates as both weapon and shield. Urgency pressures people into suboptimal decisions. Patience allows you to wait for better opportunities. Deadline manipulation can create favorable bargaining positions. Master temporal dynamics and you control the pace of every interaction. Your network represents your net worth. But network quality matters more than network size. 5 powerful allies accomplish more than 50 casual acquaintances. Invest deeply in relationships with leverage multipliers, people whose influence extends far beyond their apparent position. The psychological principle of contrast shapes all perception. Stand next to incompetence to appear brilliant. Follow confusion with clarity to seem wise. Present complexity before simplicity to appear helpful. Environmental context determines relative value more than absolute merit. Develop immunity to emotional manipulation while mastering its deployment. Others will attempt to weaponize guilt, fear, pity, and anger against you. Recognize these tactics without falling victim to them, then reverse engineer their methods for your own strategic advantage. The greatest power lies in making others want to please you. When people actively seek your approval, they become willing participants in their own influence. This psychological positioning proves more sustainable than coercion because it feels voluntary to the influence party. Create artificial competitions for your attention. When multiple parties compete for your focus, each will escalate their offers to outbid the others. Scarcity of access drives up the price of admission. Manage these auctions carefully to maximize your returns without destroying relationships. Study the masters of soft power. Religious leaders inspire devotion through spiritual guidance. Celebrity influencers monetize lifestyle aspiration. Business gurus sell transformation through methodology. Each understands that influence multiplies when packaged as benefit rather than obligation. Your personal brand represents your most valuable asset. Every interaction either adds to or subtracts from this capital. Protect your reputation with religious fervor while strategically attacking competitors' credibility through factual exposure of their limitations. The law of reciprocal escalation governs long-term relationships. Small favors create obligations for slightly larger returns. Medium investments generate expectations for significant repayment. Major assistance establishes permanent indebtedness. Scale your generosity to match your strategic objectives. Master the art of plausible deniability. Your influence should appear natural. Your suggestions should feel like their conclusions. Your victory should seem like coincidences. The best manipulation leaves no fingerprints, because the manipulated never realize they've been guided. Develop multiple personas for different contexts. Your professional identity, your social personality, your family role. Each should be authentic but optimized for that environment's unique dynamics. Consistency across contexts is overrated. Effectiveness within context is everything. The psychological concept of loss aversion drives more behavior than potential gains. People will work harder to avoid losing something they have than to acquire something they want. Frame your value in terms of what people risk losing without you, rather than what they might gain with you. Information has expiration dates. Today's secret becomes tomorrow's common knowledge. Yesterday's competitive advantage becomes today's industry standard. Harvest maximum value from exclusive intelligence before it becomes worthless through widespread distribution. Create dependency through incremental integration. Don't make dramatic changes to other circumstances. Instead, gradually become indispensable to their operations. Slow integration feels natural while rapid integration triggers resistance. Boil the frog slowly. The psychology of sunk costs works in your favor. When others have invested significantly in relationships with you, the more time, energy, or resources someone has contributed to your success, the less likely they are to abandon the investment. Encourage others to invest in your growth. Master the economics of switching costs. Make it expensive, financially, socially, or professionally, for people to replace you with alternatives. This doesn't require being the best option. It requires being the most convenient, familiar, or integrated option. Your enemies provide valuable intelligence about your weaknesses. Study their attacks to identify vulnerabilities you hadn't recognized. Their criticisms often contain kernels of truth that allies are too polite to mention. Use opposition as free consulting on your blind spots. The paradox of power. The more you need it, the less likely you are to obtain it. Desperation repels opportunity. Confidence attracts resources. Project abundance even during scarcity, because perception shapes reality more than reality shapes perception. Develop strategic amnesia about others' past favors while maintaining detailed records of your own contributions. This imbalance in accounting naturally favors your position in relationship negotiations. Memory is selective. Make sure yours selects advantageously. The modern attention economy rewards controversy more than competence. Outrage generates engagement more efficiently than excellence. Master the art of calculated provocation. Say things that generate discussion without destroying credibility. Controversy with purpose outperforms perfection with blandness. Your physical presence communicates before you speak. Posture, clothing, accessories, grooming, all signal status and competence to others' subconscious minds. Invest in your visual presentation as seriously as your intellectual preparation. First impressions determine the rules for subsequent interactions. The psychology of authority operates through symbols as much as substance. Titles, credentials, testimonials, associations. These markers of expertise influence others' receptiveness to your ideas. Collect and display these symbols strategically to maximize your persuasive impact. Create scarcity through limited availability rather than artificial restriction. I only take on 3 major projects per year sounds more appealing than I'm too busy. Scarcity explained through quality standards elevates you. Scarcity explained through the capacity limitations diminishes you. The compound effect applies to relationship building. Small, consistent investments in others' success generate exponential returns over time. The colleague you help today becomes the decision maker who remembers you tomorrow. Plant seeds everywhere. Harvest will come in seasons you cannot predict. Master the art of strategic silence during conflicts. While others argue loudly, remain mysteriously quiet. Silence creates vacuum that others fill with their own assumptions, usually projecting more wisdom onto you than you actually possess. Let them convince themselves of your brilliance. Your ability to say no determines the value of your yes. Selective rejection makes acceptance meaningful. Easy accessibility cheapens your worth. Difficult availability enhances your perceived value. Guard your agreement like a scarce resource, because that's exactly what it is. The psychological principle of social proof influences more decisions than logical analysis. People follow crowds more than they follow facts. Position yourself with impressive company, and others will assume you belong there. Association with success breeds assumption of competence. Create systems for tracking relationship ROI. Which connections generate opportunities? Which investments of time produce returns? Which favors create ongoing obligations? Treat your social capital like financial capital. Measure, manage, and maximize returns. The power of suggestion operates below conscious awareness. Embedded commands in casual conversation influence without triggering resistance. You might find it useful to consider bypasses logical objections while planting strategic ideas. Master conversational hypnosis for everyday influence. Your story shapes your power more than your statistics. People remember narratives better than numbers, emotions better than evidence. Craft a compelling personal mythology that positions you as the hero others want to join, rather than the expert they want to hire. The law of reciprocal vulnerability states that people trust those who trust them first. Strategic self-disclosure creates emotional bonds that transcend transactional relationships. Share calculated vulnerabilities that make you human without making you weak. Master the timing of reveals. Information released too early lacks impact. Details shared too late miss opportunities. The strategic communicator understands when revelation maximizes influence. Your secrets are ammunition. Spend them wisely. The psychology of commitment escalation ensures that people who make small agreements will accept larger requests later. Start with minor asks. Build toward major investments. Each yes makes the next yes easier because people seek consistency with their previous decisions. Your reputation operates as currency in the influence economy. Every interaction either deposits or withdraws from this account. Protect your credibility with paranoid intensity while strategically attacking competitors' trustworthiness through factual exposure of their failures. The ultimate mastery lies in making manipulation feel like mentorship. When people believe you're developing them rather than using them, they become willing partners in their own influence. Frame your guidance as gift rather than strategy, and watch them embrace their own orchestration. This isn't about becoming heartless. It's about becoming strategic. The world operates on these principles, whether you acknowledge them or not. The choice isn't between participating and abstaining. It's between manipulating consciously or being manipulated unconsciously. Machiavelli's deepest insight wasn't that people are evil. It's that people are predictable. Their desires, fears, insecurities, and ambitions follow patterns you can study, understand, and leverage. Master these patterns, and you master the game itself. The question isn't whether you'll use others' desires for your advancement, and the question is whether you'll do it accidentally or intentionally, chaotically or systematically, occasionally or consistently. Power flows to those who understand the rules and play them consciously. So embrace your role as architect of influence, map the desires surrounding you, price your accessibility, leverage your assets, create beneficial dependencies, build strategic relationships, and remember, in a world where everyone wants something, the wisest strategy is making sure they want it from you.